We expect this telescope to give a clear image of many different kinds of objects with small distances from the Earth. Teaching kids about our solar system, we will view the planets and the moon. We hope that children will learn what each planet looks like and be able to identify them.
This telescope should be refracting with a small aperture, approximately 4 inches. If our aperture is small enough, our telescope will be light. The glass used gets heavy very quickly, so the larger the aperture, the heavier our device becomes.
Although a small aperture causes less resolution, we don't need so much to see these nearby objects. This telescope is better for viewing planets than it is for viewing distant galaxies, but that is all we need to teach kids about our solar system. Also, a small aperture causes the field of view to be smaller, but we don't need a large field of view to look at closer planets.
We also want a short focal length, allowing for low magnification and a clear picture. Since the planets are relatively close, magnification is not a big concern. Because of this low magnification, it will be easier to see the surface of the planets and their characteristics, as well as some of their moons and rings.
Since we don't need a large magnification, we can use a larger eyepiece that will be easier to see through and the picture will be easier to see. An eyepiece with high magnification allows for less magnification overall, since magnification is equal to the focal length of the telescope divided by the focal length of the eyepiece. Too much magnification causes the picture to be blurry and washed out, so aiming for less magnification will improve our image.
The first telescope we looked at was the Celestron 150mm Advanced Refracting Telescope. This instrument has many advantages, is that it is meant for beginners, especially kids. It is very small in size, so it is light and easy to transport. Also, the short focal length allows for a lot of light and great detail. Unfortunately, this telescope has a larger aperture than we were hoping for. This means that the telescope will be heavier because of the size of the glass. Also, it greatly increases the cost. Overall, it is a more expensive telescope than our other findings.
With the thought of a small aperture in mind, we checked out the TeleVue 76 APO doublet refractor telescope. It is good for seeing objects that are relatively close to our planet, and it is very light. The focal length is also small. Considering that we are only looking at objects fairly close to the Earth, we don't need a large magnification. The focal ratio creates a somewhat fast speed, which is unnecessary because it collects more light to see distant objects. This is not our goal. It is mainly used for astrophotography, but we are not taking photos. Furthermore, the telescope's price is extremely expensive.
Our next telescope, the Dixon A80MF refractor telescope, has a small aperture. Although this telescope has a long focal length and a small magnification, it is obtainable with different eyepieces, which is important in finding and viewing close objects. The telescope is easily portable because it's lightweight. There is a low focal ratio, which is better suited to lunar and planetary gazing because light from a close object takes a shorter amount of time to enter a small aperture. There is no computer or GPS to rely on that can locate and follow an object in the sky for you, which makes it harder for children to locate the planets and the moon. Furthermore, the refractor telescope is expensive because of the glass. A long focal length can have fuzzy, washed-out pictures and a reduced field of view.
The 90mm aperture achromatic refractor telescope is a type that has two lenses at the front of the tube, and they cooperate to create clear, high-contrast resolution. The light travels down the telescope only once, so the effects of the tube currents which can affect the image are minimal. The telescope is durable, low maintenance, and the alignment is difficult to disrupt. However, this telescope can be affected by chromatic aberrations. Especially bright objects can form a purple halo. This telescope, while being easily maintainable and durable, is also bulky and can be difficult to mount properly. Also, position of the eyepiece can become fairly low and awkward if the object being viewed is near the zenith. Finally, a good, wholesome lens can be fairly expensive.
We finally found a telescope that is a great match. It is the Celestron Omni XLT. The main attraction to the telescope is its power and ability to see close objects such as planets. This telescope's aperture is ideal compared to most telescopes, and this low aperture, while it will fail in seeing dim objects such as nebulas and distant galaxies, it allows us to get beautiful images of close-to-Earth objects such as the Moon. Another notable aspect of this telescope is its simplicity. When dealing with many children, simplicity really makes a difference. Refractors like these are known to be easy to function and easy to maintain, and this easy use will really help us run these star party smoothly. And the great size aperture and focal length allows for a great focal ratio with efficient resolution for viewing ourselves.
Ta-da!